Welcome back to another video. If you haven't yet, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Coming across this channel for the first time, pull up a chair, watch a few videos, like a few videos. Let's get into it. You can see by the title, Peacekeeper versus Peacemaker. Now, recently, I've been having to say this quite a few times. And let me tell you something. When God slaps you with something, when God opens up your eyes to something, do not turn a blind eye to it. When God knocks you with something, do not turn a blind eye to it. So recently, God knocked me with something. And God said, "My girl, I did not ordain you to be a peacekeeper. I know. You guys are probably looking crazy like, is she crazy? You're a peacemaker, not a peacekeeper. A lot of people would rather you be a peacekeeper." Let me say that again. A lot of people would rather you be a peacekeeper. What I have learned, you can be both, but until you have mastered the art of being a peacemaker, leave peacekeeping alone. Because being a peacekeeper can cost you your peace. Being a peacekeeper can cost you your peace. Let me explain. Peacekeeper. A peacekeeper is a person because they don't like conflict and because they want peace to reign. They will let you disrespect them. They will allow chaos, confusion, lies, negativity to go on and just watch it and not say anything and just let it play. They will let people lie on them. They'll let people disrespect them. They'll let people walk over them, and they'll take the blame for things just to let peace reign. A lot of people would want you to be a peacekeeper because it makes them look good when you're a peacekeeper. A peacemaker doesn't like confusion. A peacemaker doesn't like chaos. A peacemaker loves the truth. A peacemaker will want the truth to be exposed. You cannot have peace in the midst of confusion. You cannot have peace in the midst of confusion. So in order for there to be peace, peace has to be made. You have to be a peacemaker. You cannot make peace by being quiet. You cannot make peace by allowing people to disrespect you. And people confuse the two. Because when you stand up for yourself, when you address certain situations, people look at you as a shit starter. People look at you as somebody who likes confusion. People look at you as somebody who is rebellious, not realizing that you're ending the confusion, not realizing that you're clearing up the lies, not realizing that you're ending all the negativity. People confuse the two. The Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." When we sit, and because we want to keep the peace, we listen to negative things, and we decide, oh, this is what Mary said? Okay. And we start giving Mary an attitude. And we start avoiding Tom without even going to Tom and trying to put the pieces together ourselves, because in our heads it's like, no, if I go to him, then I'm creating chaos. I'm creating animosity. No, you're creating animosity by sitting one side. You're creating animosity by sitting on your side of the fence, thinking that Mary or Tom or Jane or whoever did something that they really didn't do. And then in your head, you're saying, I'm just going to hold on to this knowing that they did this. And I'm not going to address it. And I'm just going to keep it over here. And I'm just going to play like everything is okay. And I'm just going to talk to them as if everything is okay. And I'm just going to keep it in the back of my mind that they did this. And I'm just going to know where I stand with them. No, you're being a hypocrite. You are being a hypocrite. If you are a Christian, child of God, however, whatever label you want to put on yourself, if that's who you are, what kind of example are you when you're being a hypocrite? What kind of example are you setting for people out there in the world when you are being a hypocrite? Because that's what you're doing. You're being a hypocrite. You're looking at it like, no, I'm going to be disturbing the peace if I do that. But no, you're not. You're creating confusion for yourself and for others. You're allowing the negative things to take life. You're giving life to the negativity. You're not ending it. So you're not making peace. You're not doing what the Bible says that you are supposed to do as a child of God. So don't let anyone look at you and say, when you get to the bottom of things and when you unravel the truth and what's the word that I'm looking for? Don't let anybody look at you like you're disturbing the peace when you do all those things. Because if that's the case, then when people go to court to find out the truth, that means they're disturbing the peace too. So the court system is disturbing the peace. That means the courts have been disturbing the peace for how long now? Why are they not getting in trouble for disturbing the peace? So the court system is creating chaos then. They're not making peace. They're not unraveling the truth then. That is what your job should be as a child of God, not to sit in confusion and chaos. Not to disturb your own peace by keeping the peace, but to make peace. And you cannot make peace with lies. You cannot make peace with confusion. You cannot make peace with animosity. Peace cannot be kept that way. So you can be a peacekeeper and a peacemaker, But you have to master the art of being a peacemaker first. Because the only way to truly keep the peace is to make it. But if you're just going to be a peacekeeper, it doesn't work. You're going to disturb your own peace being a peacekeeper. A lot of times you go around people and you feel that their energy is off. Sometimes it's because they want to say something to you, but they refuse to because in their heads, they're keeping the peace. You can tell they want to say something to you. You can tell something is bothering them. They want to say something, but in their minds, it's, if I do this, this person might confront that person, and then it's going to be my fault. But there's a right and wrong way to do everything. We don't have to do it from a place of confusion. You want to get to the bottom of the bottom of it. You want to get to the bottom of the truth. You want to get to the truth, the depth of it. You want to really know who is, disturbing the peace. If someone tells you Mary did something, instead of holding it in the back of your head that Mary is this bad person, but you're still going to talk to Mary and you're still going to have it up here that Mary's bad, and you're going to avoid Mary to an extent, but you're going to talk to Mary and you're going to pretend like you don't know. Instead of doing that, you take Mary, you go to Jane, and you say, hey, tell Mary what you just said. And if Jane can't repeat what they said about Mary, or if they actually do, and Mary can look at Jane and clarify everything and be like, wait a minute, wait, what? End the confusion, end the back and forth. Don't think you are causing confusion by doing that. No, you're killing the confusion right there. You're ending the confusion right there. You're putting a stop to the confusion right there. Do not think you're giving life to the confusion. No, you're putting a stop to it. We have to choose as children of God which side of the fence we truly want to be on. So when we sit and think sometimes that we are making peace, we're not making peace. We're actually keeping the peace. And by keeping the peace, we're disturbing the peace, because you're sitting here thinking that something is actually happening when it's not. And by not having total clarity, by thinking that you know something and holding on to something that isn't actually not true, you're disturbing your own peace. Disturbing your own peace, because you're sitting here saying, oh, I forgive this person, but you're forgiving somebody for something they didn't do. But you're still holding on to it because you're not going to forget that this person did this, when in all reality, the person actually didn't do it. So in the back of your mind, you're sitting there saying, I'm holding on to this, and I'm going to always remember that this person did that. And because of that, if I was this close to that person, now I'm this close to them, because I'm never going to allow them to do that to me again, when in reality, the person didn't do anything to you at all. But because you are playing a hypocrite and refuse to get to the bottom of it, by keeping the peace instead of making peace, you're costing yourself. You're jeopardizing your own peace. Peace should not come with confusion. Peace should not harbor chaos. The thing about it is, a lot of us will keep the peace simply because we want to believe that someone is actually bad. We don't want the truth. We want to believe someone is actually bad. So we want to keep the peace. So we choose to be peacekeepers and not peacemakers. Because being a peacekeeper is so much easier than being a peacemaker. They always say nothing that is good comes without a fight. So being a peacemaker, you gotta put work into that. So when you're being a peacemaker, you might seem like the bad guy, and nobody wants to see the bigger picture of being a peacemaker. But hold on to the fact that the Bible tells you, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Remember, we are not here to serve man, but to serve God. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. I'll see you in the next one.